Hey everybody, it's Calvin Nation here with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the brand new Benchmade Model 62, actually so brand new in fact. It is not out yet, but this balisong is issued to probably hit the market, I'd say around February to March, but this is a Bali Benchmade I guess has teased about for the past couple months. I think I heard about it probably late November, early December on Facebook. A lot of people seem to go over there and kind of almost harass Benchmade as to when the next Bali is going to come out. And like I said, back in November or early December, I saw a post from Benchmade that said, replied to a guy asking about Benchmade Balis, and they said that there would be a new Benchmade Bali hitting the market in 2012, a new addition to the family. So I got excited about that, but when they released info and pictures about it, by the way, if I haven't posted a picture yet, here it is. But when they released those, I was a little disappointed, and that's the reason for this video. I'm going to be talking about how I feel about this knife, because I have been getting a lot of requests, and I feel making a video is a little bit easier, so I figured I'd do that, and if anyone sends me a message, I can just refer them to this video. But I have been doing a lot of commenting, replying back and forth with a lot of people about this so far, so it'll be nice to make this video. But yeah, so this is just going to be a video of what I think about the new 62. 2 points I want to make right before I get started, and that is everyone has a preference. That's a kind of argument I guess I've had with a few people so far. And it's definitely something I want to point out, that you may like a heavier balisong, or you may like a lighter one. Some of these points may not matter to you whatsoever, because you love a 6.4 ounce knife, whereas I do like a lighter knife. The second point I want to make is that the knife is not out yet. I may not be right in any of the points I make because I just haven't felt it yet. But again, my preference is that I like a lighter balisong. And just based on what I see on paper, the 62 is not going to be for me. But just to let you know, I have ordered it because I do want to see how it is. I can always sell it off anyway, but I probably won't. I never really do. Never have actually sold any of my knives yet. But yeah, I have not felt it yet or played with it yet, so that's something that I haven't taken into account. But again, on paper, the 62 so far does not seem like the Bali for me. But all that aside, let's get on to the actual topic of how I feel about the 62. Okay, so like I said, my preference lies more within a lighter flipper opposed to a heavier flipper. And I guess the general consensus is that a balanced flipper is a great flipper. And although I do agree, I only agree to an extent. Like I said in this video, and I don't remember if I've talked about this yet, I've done 2 takes now, but like I said in this video where I do the impressions video for this basilisk, I talk about how balance is great, yes, but weight and balance have to go hand in hand. That's what makes a good flipper, not balance and not just weight, not those singularly, those together, hand in hand. That's when you get a good flipper. And I feel that balance and weight, with the weight being around 4 to 5 ounces, that makes for the perfect flipper. And I think a lot of people will agree with me on that. But also a lot of people won't. And again, I'm going to say this a ton of times, it all boils down to preference. But I'm going to try to make a few points as to why I think a 4 to 5 ounce Bali that is balanced is a better balisong than a 6 to 7 ounce Bali. A lot of people seem to think that only heavier balisongs can be balanced. Or maybe they don't even think that, they just don't think about how a lighter balisong can still be balanced. A lighter balisong has the potential to be balanced, as well as it will automatically be able to be faster than a heavier balisong, no matter which way you look at it. And a lot of people are going to argue that you can strengthen your fingers to be able to flip as fast a 6 ounce Bali as fast as a 4 ounce Bali. But right off the get-go, obviously this is going to be a faster Bali than a 6 ounce Bali. And again, like I said, people are going to say that you can flip a 6 ounce Bali as fast as a 4 ounce Bali by training your fingers, getting them stronger. But in saying that, isn't that also saying that if you get your fingers to be able to flip a 6 ounce Bali as fast as a 4 ounce Bali, if you return back to a 4 ounce Bali, wouldn't you be able to flip that 4 ouncer a lot faster than you used to be able to? If you can flip a 6-ounce bali as fast as I can flip this 4-ounce bali, then you should be able to go back to that 4-ouncer and just flip at light speed. So that's why I think a lighter balisong is always going to be better, because you can get just as good as a balance on a 42 or a 42 like bali, not the 42, sorry, I didn't mean to say that, but you can get a balance on a balisong that's around 4 to 5 ounces that is identical to a balisong that is 6 to 7 ounces. You can balance pretty much any weighted knife. The 32 or the 51 is actually not far off. A lot of people complain that it's not balanced enough, and it isn't, definitely, but I mean, it's a 3.3 ounce bali, and it's close to being balanced. Any bali has the potential to be balanced, and therefore that's why I think a lighter bali is better, because you can have it just as balanced as a heavier balisong, so it's going to have the same control as a heavier balisong, but you have the potential to go faster than a heavier balisong. And I've also got the comment or rebuttal, if you will, that it's not as controllable as a heavier one, a lighter one isn't, but I think that's really because you're flipping a heavier one slower. If you have just as good as a balance on a lighter one than a heavier one, really the control should almost be roughly identical to a heavier balisong. So the reason why you may not have as much control as on a lighter one than a heavier one is because you're flipping it faster, but that's where practice comes in. If you practice with a lighter balisong and you really get that thing whipping around, you're going to be able to control it just as well as a heavier one, but you're going to have the ability to go faster. And again, a lot of people say that it all comes down to preference, again, which I do agree, and again, I've said this a bunch of times, but I feel like a lighter one, you have the ability to go slow if you want, but also you have the ability to go fast. With the heavier one, you do have the ability to go fast if you really work at it and really train, but it's not as easy to switch between the two as a lighter one. Like I said, lighter one, you can go as slow as you want, really, but you can also go as fast as you want. With a heavier one, you can go really slow, but you can't really go super fast. So that's why I think a lighter one is also better in that category, because it just has the potential to do pretty much everything. Another thing is twirling. A lot of people say that a heavier balisong is awesome for rollovers, which it is. An example of that is the basilisk. I do like the 42 better than the basilisk. I have mentioned that in my impressions video, and I also do agree though that the basilisk is a much better balisong for rollovers, but that doesn't mean that the 42 doesn't have the potential to be. The 42 isn't really perfectly balanced, but the basilisk is. The basilisk just happens to be heavier, but it still is in that 4 to 5 ounce range. But you can still, like I said, and this comes all the way down to my first point, you can still have a 4.1 ounce bali and still have it as balanced as this. So again, you have the potential to have this 4.1 ounce bali to be able to do rollovers just as well as this. It's just that this designer, Jerry Hom, knows what he's doing, and he was able to balance a bali still in the 4 to 5 ounce range, and that's what I would be doing. That would be my number one design feature in a balisong, and that is to maintain balance at a lighter weight. And again, just want to mention always throughout the video that it does boil down to preference. I just feel that with a lighter balisong, again, I've mentioned this a bunch of times as well, you have the potential to do everything in your arsenal. With a heavier one, I just don't think you have the potential to do every single trick you could do with a lighter one. Again, a lot of times when I make these points, a lot of people seem to miss the fact that each bali, no matter how heavy it is, really can be balanced. In the sense that they can all be balanced no matter what weight. They should all roughly have the same amount of control. If they all have the same amount of control, you should really be able to flip them just as well as each other. Just with the lighter ones, you'll be able to flip it faster. Heavier ones, you'll be able to flip it slower. Again, one more point I just want to quickly mention, because when I always make these videos, it's a long video and sometimes you miss points. But again, a point I made earlier and what I want to mention again is a lot of people will say that with a heavier one, your fingers will get faster, and they will be able to catch up to a lighter balisong Although, again, like I mentioned, you're also kind of agreeing with me in the sense that if you can train your fingers to flip a 62 as fast as you used to be able to flip a 42, once you go back to that 42, you should be able to flip this thing at freaking light speed. So that's just what I have to think about it. I hope none of you guys are offended by it. It's just I don't know, I feel pretty adamantly that a lighter balisong is better in almost every way compared to a heavier balisong. It all just comes down to balance. If you balance a lighter balisong to be just as balanced as a heavy one, you're going to be able to do every single thing a heavier balisong can do, just faster. And again, a lot of people will say, well, I don't like to go fast. But that's another comment that I've made a bunch of times, a point I've made a bunch of times again, is that you don't have to go fast with a light one. You can go as slow as you want, but you have the option to go as fast as you want as well. Okay, so I think that's the video finally. It's been a long video. I know there's going to be a ton of points that I didn't make that I wanted to make. When it comes down to these videos, they're always terribly done, in my opinion. I can never do them well. Same with the impressions video for this one. I can never get my points across in the way I want. When it comes to something I really feel strongly about, I can never formulate my sentences and my points as well as I wished. But I think I got most of them across, and again, that's just how I feel about balisongs. Yeah, so if you disagree, please let me know why. If you agree, let me know why as well. Just want to get your guys' opinion on it. That's just how I feel about it. You guys may feel differently. Again, it's all about preference. So thanks for watching. I appreciate your time, and hope I didn't. It's a freaking video about knives, but I mean, hope I didn't offend anyone. This is not meant against anyone. It's just a friendly, I guess, argumentative video of why I feel a lighter balisong, again, to an extent, is a little bit better than a heavier balisong. So thank you guys for watching this video, and I really appreciate your time. So take care, and I'll see you for the next video. See you later, guys.